Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Chelsea, I'm 24 years old and I live in Darwin, Australia. I work a corporate 9 to 5 and I do YouTube and social media on the side. So welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be my February reset. Today is the 29th of January and it is the last Sunday of the month, which means I'm doing my monthly reset. So buckle in, we're going to look at a little bit of budgeting goals, we're going to do some favorites from the month of January, and then I'm also going to do a little book review of everything that I read this month. So if you're going to be into that, please do stick around, watch this video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. But without further ado, let's just get into it. The first section of today's video is going to be a little goals review. I have my beautiful planner from Emma Kateco and I have my January goals listed back here, all my January goals here. So let's do a quick little tick off of where we're at and review our goals, and then we're going to have a look at our budget. So the first category is social media goals. So I wanted to hit 50 subscribers on YouTube, which I did, which is really exciting. I think we're at 59, so that is really good. That is way more than I thought I'd get this month. The next one was 400 followers on Instagram. Now I don't think we hit this. We're at 387, so we didn't quite reach that, but that's okay. And then post 2 videos to YouTube per week. I did this really consistently. I only was late on my weekly vlog this week because of some internet issues, but I still have gotten up 2 videos this week, just a little bit of a different timeline than anticipated. So that's really good, so I'm staying really consistent, which I'm happy about. And then my last social media goal was to post to Instagram 3 times per week. I sort of did this. I think I had a couple of weeks where there was 2, a couple where there was 4, but it kind of averaged out to 3. So I'm gonna say yes, we did that. My next category is finances. So my first goal was to save 1,000. I don't think I quite got there. No, I didn't. So I was short on that goal a little bit because I had some unexpected expenses. So I had to take out of my emergency fund. So unfortunately it didn't go very far up, but I did save a little bit still. So that was pretty good. The next one was to have a low spend month, which I did. I've been pretty good. I spent way more on groceries than I was anticipating for some reason, but we'll go over that in my budget in a minute. But yeah, overall I think I stuck to this goal. And my last one was to pay off all Afterpays. I did not do this. I did most of them, but I still have on Afterpay some flights and my iPad. I paid off all of my Christmas Afterpays, which was sort of my intention with this goal, but I have not paid off all Afterpay. So I don't think we can tick this one off this month, unfortunately. My next category is health and fitness. Now the first one is to move my body every day, and I did this with the exception of the first 3 days of the month, which if you saw my reset videos, you know I was really sick, so I had a pretty good excuse. But other than that, I did manage to move my body every single day, so I'm really pleased with myself that I hit that goal. My next one was to have greens every day, which again I did. I missed 1 or 2 days, but overall I'm going to tick off this goal. I just had a couple of days where I honestly just forgot, and it was literally 2 days out of the whole month. So I'm going to say yes, I did this, which is really great. My next one was to meal prep and plan lunches and breakfasts. Now I don't think I did a very good job of this. And then the last one on that one was close rings every day. So I got an Apple Watch for Christmas and I wanted to have a go at closing my rings every single day. Now on the whole I did this. I didn't close every single ring every single day, but I think I either got super close or I closed them, most of them, most days. So I'm going to say yes. My last category is lifestyle. Now in this one I had read 4 books, which I did, and I will discuss those towards the end of the video. My next one is 15-minute tidy every day. Again, I did this. My next one was use my planner to organize every day. I didn't do this every day, but I did use my planner really consistently at a minimum of every other day. So I'm going to tick that off. I think my intention with this goal was just to make sure that I am using my planner and being a little bit more organized. So I think I did that. And then my last one is to wake up by 7 a.m. every day, and I did this. I had a couple of lazy Sundays where I woke up around like 7:30, 8 o'clock. But again, overall, I think I accomplished this goal. So that is my little January goal review, and I'm going to sit and write out my February goals, and then I'll come back to you guys in a few minutes once I've got those established, and I will let you know what they're going to be. Alrighty, so I've written up all my goals. Now I write them super messy in this extra notebook, and then I write them pretty in my proper like dot journal and like decorate it and stuff like that later. But I just wanted to quickly get this smashed out and write some goals. So, my goals for February 2023. My social media goals are going to be to reach 80 subscribers, which is crazy, but we're already at 70, or almost at 70, we're at 69. So I think this is feasible, which is exciting. I stuck with the goal of 400 followers for Instagram. I really struggle to grow my Instagram. I feel like I do everything right, and I really struggle. If you have any tips, please do pop them down in the comments below. I would love to hear them. My next goal is to post 4 TikToks. So one of my goals was to be more active on TikTok this year. So I usually post all my reels that I do to TikTok, but I want to do some that are only for over there. So 4 of those, it's like 1 a week. We'll see how we go. My next one is to land a paid brand collab. Now I nearly got one this month, which I didn't really talk about in my video very much. I touched on it very briefly in a weekly vlog, I think. But I nearly got one, and sadly it did fall through, but it just showed me that it is a possibility for me, even with the small following that I do have. So I really want to try and land one this month, which would be a dream, like an absolute dream. Making money from my social media, and that would be amazing. I have reduced my Instagram goal to posting twice a week. 3 times a week was just a little bit too much, and it just didn't really happen easily. So I think 2 times a week is a bit more natural for me. My next category, finances, I want to save $500. Now this is much lower than my last month's goal, or this month's goal, because we're going to Adelaide on Friday. So we're going down to Adelaide for a week for Jaden's birthday, and because of that I probably won't put any savings away from that paycheck, just because we want to have a little bit more expendable income while we are on holiday. And then on that note, one of my goals is to have a no spend month, with the exception of Adelaide. So on our holiday, you know, we'll do whatever, and then other than that, once we're back home, I would really like to try not to spend any money apart from essentials, obviously. And then my last financial goal is to pay off my remaining afterpays, because I should be able to do that within the next month, and to not put any more things on afterpay. Nothing. My next category, health and fitness. So I'm going to try and move my body every day again. That's an ongoing goal. That's something that I want to do for my entire life. And I don't mean like a heavy workout every day, but like a 30-minute walk at a minimum, just that I'm out and about moving my body in some shape or form every day. My next one is to drink 2 liters of water. I feel like I've been really bad about that this year so far. So I've got my 1 liter water bottle. It is from Future U Store, and I hope to utilize it. I need to drink at least 2 of those a day. My next one, I have 2 that are sort of hand in hand. They're coffee related ones. So the first one is food first, then coffee. I want to try really hard to not be having coffee as my first intake of the day, because there's so many bad things to it. You know, it's bad for your blood sugar, it's bad for your insulin, it's bad for your adrenaline, it's bad for your anxiety. So many things. And I do have anxiety. I have GAD, which is generalized anxiety disorder. So I really struggle with that sort of thing. So I want to help myself by not having coffee as the first thing. I want to have breakfast or some sort of meal first, and then I can have coffee in the mid-morning. And then my other goal is just less coffee overall. So I'm currently on like 3 or 4 a day, because things have been a little hectic for me this month with work. But that's really, really bad. Like I said, my anxiety can't handle it. I've not been having a very good month anxiety-wise. So I do want to reduce my overall coffee and caffeine intake. Then my last health and fitness goal is to train upper body 5 times. So this works out to be just over once a week because I haven't trained strength training at all yet this month. So those are my health and fitness goals. My last category is lifestyle. So I want to be waking up by 6:30 a.m. I've brought it back another half an hour. I want to read 4 books again because this will keep me on track for my end of year goal of reading 50 books. I want to journal 3 times a week. So one of my goals is to be more mindful for this year, so I really want to increase my journaling. I've been doing a quick little gratitude practice every morning, but I want to make a more active journaling session 3 times a week where I actually sit down and write more than 3 things I'm grateful for and just actually write about how I'm feeling and what I'm doing and things like that. And then my last one is to enroll in my Pilates teacher qualification because enrollments do open this month, so I need to pay for that. And that is everything for my goals. So let's move on to a quick budget review. Okay, so I use every dollar. So we'll do a really quick review. Basically, my income was exactly as expected. Savings we'll look at separately on my spreadsheet. Housing, so rent was completely on track. Transportation again was on track. Groceries I went quite a bit over by $82, and we do still have 2 days left of the month, and I reckon I will need to buy more groceries in that time. So we did go quite a bit over, but we went way under on our takeaway and eating out. I went $10 over on coffee. I did buy a few rounds of coffee at work for my team because of what's going on at work at the moment, how busy we are. I also had a hair appointment, so my budget for my beauty treatments was really high this month, and it was because I had budgeted for a hair appointment. But I still went under because I didn't get my nails done. I did just remove my acrylics myself, and I'm just going to go for some natural nails for a couple months to give them a break. Social was way under. I had budgeted to have a pretty big night for my birthday drinks, but my beautiful family and friends, being who they are, barely let me buy a single drink or anything, which is so lovely, and I'm really lucky and blessed to have them. So I only spent $17 because I bought myself 1 drink, 1 cocktail, which was expensive, but you know. On my spending money overall, I did really well. I was under on everything except books and stationery, which I did go over quite a bit, but because I went under everywhere else, I think I'm pretty on track. Health, my gym membership went up, which I wasn't aware of. I also did a big order on EHP Labs because they are having a big sale, or were having a big sale. So my supplements budget, I went over that nearly double, or just over double actually. And then I did shuffle some things around. So I bought the Couch to 5K app subscription, so that's why that's been added in. I didn't budget for it, but it's something that I did get. And then activewear, I was right on track. Health insurance, I went over by 5 cents somehow. I don't know what happened there. I think I just put the wrong number in. Phone bill was all on track. Subscriptions were all on track. I created a new category for content creation and my YouTube work. So these were both out of budget because I hadn't budgeted anything for it, but I spent my first installment for my iPad as well as buying a mini tripod for my camera. And then I have moved all my subscriptions that are in relation to content creation onto this tab. So I bought Procreate for my iPad, and then I had my usual subscription come out for iCloud, and I also think that my Canva one will be coming out any day now, so there's that as well. My last one was special occasions. A friend of mine had her birthday, so I obviously had to put her together a birthday present, and I also had a last couple of afterpays come out for Christmas, so that went into that budget. Holidays and travel, I went way under budget because I had accidentally counted for an extra payment for flights, which never had to happen. And then Jaden's birthday, right on budget. I gave him money towards his PlayStation 5, so that was an easy round number. And yeah, that is my January budget. So we did really good actually. I haven't looked at it on the whole like that yet, and I'm really happy with that, so that's awesome. Okay, so then I have these little graphs which I just like to see. So I have one that's income versus expenses versus savings. So I had more money come in than I spent, which is what I want to see, and then I had a good chunk of that in savings. And then I have this little pie chart of where all my money goes. So I think this is a fun way just to break down how my money is being spent and where it's going. And I'm really happy to see that my second biggest category is savings. This is exciting. This has never been the case. I've never been in a position to do this. Jaden and I are very, very lucky to be living in this granny flat at my parents' property. We are paying rent, but it is nothing like what we were paying in our old apartment. So I'm really happy with that. That distribution looks really healthy and good. So I'm happy with that. That's everything. I will set up my February budget off camera and then I will run through it with you quickly because I have a sneaking suspicion that this video is already going to be very long, which I like. I love watching long reset videos. So if you agree with that, let me know in the comments. If you like shorter ones, also let me know. I'd love to create stuff that you guys want, but I enjoy a really good long reset video. Righty, so I have made a few changes after all, so I'm gonna do a really quick scroll through. My wages look completely the same. Nothing should be changing this month except I am traveling for work, so I should be getting an additional travel allowance. My January rollover is much lower than last month's because there's a much bigger gap between payday and the new month. Savings, I figured out that I can put about $250 into emergency, $200 into short term, and $500 into long term. So short term at the moment for me is for our Europe trip at the end of the year, and then long term is for a house deposit. So not huge chunks going towards that, but because we are traveling already, it's just a lower saving month. Rent doesn't change, transport doesn't change, but I did lower my parking because I'm not going to be in Darwin for so much of this month between traveling for work and being away on leave for our holiday. I don't think we're going to spend very much on parking, so I did lower that. Food, I bumped up my groceries by another $100, but I did go so far over budget this month that I would like to project a little bit higher for next month. But I did bring down my takeaway and eating out expenses because I've added a new travel category and all the food that we buy while traveling will go down in there. So I think our normal is going to be much lower. Lifestyle, I left coffee the same. Beauty treatments I brought way down to $30. I might go get my eyebrows done or something, but I have no other appointments booked. Social, I don't have any events planned at this stage, but I did put $50 in there just in case that changes. Now, spending money, I have it a lot lower now because most of my afterpays are paid off with the exception of the few that I discussed earlier. But because we're going away and I'll probably do some shopping while we're down in Adelaide, I did keep them at a reasonable level. So I think $150 on clothes, $50 on books and stationery, and $250 on makeup and skincare. I need to go to Sephora while I'm in Adelaide and I need to stock up on a few things, so I have put that pretty high. And then other spending, $250, and this will just be, you know, generic things that I can't really fit into those categories. Next, my gym membership, I did put that back up to what it is now because even if I do cancel, I'll need to stay with them for at least a month, so I probably will still be paying for that all through February, but that's okay. Medication and appointments, I left at $40 because you just never know. Supplements I put to $0 because of how much I've stocked up this month. I shouldn't need to buy anything in the next month, maybe even 2, so we'll see. App subscriptions, nothing should be coming out this month because they were all quarterly subscriptions or one-off payments, so that should be fine. And activewear, I've put $150 because I do want to go pick up some things from Lulu's while I'm in Adelaide. Health insurance doesn't change. Debt and bills, my phone bill is a little bit higher because my Apple Watch is now included on it with the extra $5 for it to have cellular roaming. So that's gone up by a little bit. Subscriptions didn't change. Content creation, I've just popped in, I'll actually have 2 payments. That needs to be higher. I'll make that $250 because I didn't account for the fact that obviously I'm going to have 2 payments in the month, not a single payment, and I'll go and adjust my savings in a minute. Subscriptions, I only have Canva and iCloud coming out, so that should be fine. I have no one's birthdays or events coming up, so $0 on gifts, but $100 for Jaden's birthday. Seeing that he's my partner, I count that as a separate category. And we are going to be in Adelaide for it, so you know, I might buy him some things there, or you know, stuff like that. And then holidays and travel, so I've got the one last payment for our flights coming out. We aren't paying anything for accommodation because we are staying with Jaden's family, so that's really great. And then food, we are only there for 4 days, so I've only allocated $250 towards food, so this will be like eating out, snacks, coffee, anything like that. I think that's feasible. It might end up being a bit more, but that's okay. But yeah, let's quickly fix up this. So we'll bump the emergency, actually we'll put down short term to 100, and we will put emergency fund to whatever's left over, which is $213.56. Perfect. So that is my February budget, and that is everything for the planning and resetting side of things. Now let's move over to some January favorites. Okay, so this favorite section is just a few random things that I've been loving lately. So first category I'm going to go with is going to be beauty, the slick stick. As you can see, I'm rocking the slick back look today. Thank you to the slick stick. I feel like this is such a great tool. I don't know how I didn't discover it sooner. This is definitely a favorite at the moment, especially when it's busy. I can just... So moving on to some quick stationery things. First of all is these stickers from Emma Kateco. So I bought these with my planner, and I love them. As you can see, I've used heaps already, and I'm probably going to order them again. They're just so cute and aesthetic, and they just make my planner look really nice, and I'm not the greatest at drawing, so this is a really good alternative for me. And then the other sort of stationery item is this reading light. Now, Jaden got me this for my birthday. It is an amber reading light, so you can see it's sort of like an orange light. This is so good for reading in bed because it kind of drives Jaden nuts when I have the bedside lamp on, which fair enough, it does light up the entire room. But this, I can have reading in bed and it doesn't bother him because it's super direct. And yeah, it literally just clips onto your book here and you turn it on and just angle it down at your page. And because it's an amber light as well, it doesn't feel too straining on my eyes, and I find it really easy to fall asleep after using. The next thing, which sort of follows on from that, is this deep pillow spray by This Works. This stuff is amazing. It's been helping me sleep so much. I am a truly terrible sleeper. I find it really, really difficult to fall asleep, but this has been helping. I think it just signals to my mind now that it is time to go to sleep, which is really nice. So if you've been watching my weekly vlog, you already know about this, but the Boss Coffee Co., these little canned coffees are the best thing ever. They taste great, really convenient to take with me to work so that I don't need to go buy a coffee when I want my afternoon pick-me-up, so that's really great. And then the last food product I have is these Oxy greens, the pineapple ones. These are the greens I've been having every single day, and I am honestly obsessed. They taste so good. These are the only greens I've ever tried that don't taste like greens. Like, they taste delicious. So that is all for the physical favorites. I do have a couple of apps that I want to talk to you about though. So the first one is the Couch to 5K app. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of this one before. It's this app. Is that gonna focus? Yeah. So it's the Couch to 5K app, which I discussed in my budget briefly. It's been really great. I wanted to start running and I started just doing it on my own for a few weeks, and I kind of wasn't getting anywhere. I was super sore afterwards. I was doing it all wrong. So I downloaded this app. I'm now up to week 3, I think, because I did skip a few days here and there because the runs were too easy. But it is really, really great. I'm now up to week 3, day 2. So those are my favorites. The final section of today's video is going to be a quick book review. Okay, so the first book that I read this year was Beach Read. This is by Emily Henry, and I did enjoy this book. I read it really quickly. It was enjoyable. It was cute. It was predictable, but at the same time, I was still surprised at times. So like the overall story arc was very predictable, but there were little surprises throughout that I wasn't expecting in terms of the individual characters. So I really enjoyed this. It was great. Very cute, little bit of spice, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, I think this was a really cute book. I think I gave this 4 stars out of 5. The second book that I read this year was The Song of Achilles. Now, I was somewhat disappointed with this book. I actually reviewed it a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads, but I'm going to change it to a 3 just because it was a lot of book about nothing. Like, the story didn't progress. There was a lot of very repetitive chapters, and I was disappointed because I read Circe last year by Madeline Miller also, and I loved that book. It was one of my top 5 books of the year. So I was so excited to pick this one up and start reading, and I just was quite underwhelmed. The story wasn't quite as captivating, and there just felt like the war, which I know the Trojan War went on for like 2 decades or something, but it felt like it in the book. It wasn't a bad book. Like, I still finished it. I didn't DNF it, but it was slow and took me a bit longer to get through than I would have liked. I feel like it probably could have been like half its length. But you know, still worth reading if you're interested in like Greek mythology and stuff like that. It is a fun read to get a bit more of a background on that story. Or like the next book that I read was It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I read It Ends With Us in like June or July last year, and unpopular opinion, it wasn't my favorite book in the world. I didn't dislike it, but I just felt like it was a bit forced. But anyway, I enjoyed the second book better, which again is a very unpopular opinion. I really liked this. I thought this one was well written, and for a book that was never meant to be written, I think it was done extremely well. The last one that I read this month was You and Me on Vacation. This is another one by Emily Henry. After reading Beach Read, I really wanted to read more of her books, so I picked this one up, and I really liked it. I think I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. It was another really good book, a little bit spicy. The storyline was fun. Overall, it was really cute. I like the travel aspect because, you know, she described a lot of different places and the people that they met, and I really enjoyed that. But yeah, those are all 4 books that I read this month. I really followed the romance train quite a bit this month, which I enjoyed. I liked it. But yeah, I want to hop into some fantasy novels next month because ACOTAR to this day is my favorite series ever, and I also finished the Throne of Glass series last year. So I would really like to pick up a new fantasy series that I enjoy. So if you have any recommendations, please leave them down below. But that is everything that I have to say for this video. I know that this was a very long video, so if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and you're really supporting my channel right now, which is really, really great. I love making these videos, and if you liked it, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my channel. Comment down below what you read last month, what your goals are for February. I would really, really love to know. But yeah, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day. Bye!